You might not even realize it, but right now, you're probably surrounded by this invisible network. I mean, it's in your home, it's on your wrist, it's even under the streets of your city. It's called the Internet of Things, or IoT for short. And over the next few minutes, we're going to make this invisible world totally visible. We'll show you how it works and, more importantly, why it's kind of quietly changing, well, everything. Okay, so let's just start with a simple question. Think about this for a second. What if all the everyday objects around you, what if they weren't just silent, dumb tools? What if your lights, your car, even the very streets of your city could actually talk to each other and to you?
Well, the thing is, they can. And no, this isn't some sci-fi movie, some far-off future. It is happening right now, quietly reshaping our world in ways you probably don't even notice. So let's pull back that curtain, shall we?
All right, so what is the Internet of Things? Exactly. I think the absolute simplest way to think about it is this. It's like we're giving everyday objects a digital voice, a way for them to speak up, to communicate, and to share information. Okay, if you want to get a little more technical, the IoT is basically a giant network of physical devices, and each one is packed with tiny sensors and software. They all hook up to the internet to send data back and forth. But here's the really cool part, the magic of it all. They can often make decisions and take action completely on their own, without a single human needing to press a button. I know, that might sound super complex, but the whole process is actually surprisingly straightforward. So let's break it down. Let's trace how a piece of information gets from a physical sensor out there in the real world all the way to an app on your smartphone. So it really all boils down to 4 simple layers or steps. Let's take a smart AC, for example. First up, you've got the device layer. A sensor in the room feels it getting too hot, right? Okay, next, the connectivity layer. That sensor uses your Wi-Fi to shoot that data out. Then, the platform layer. This is usually in the cloud. It catches that alert and basically says, whoa, it's hot in here. Time to cool down. And finally, the application layer. The platform sends a command to an app, maybe on your phone, which then tells the AC to kick on. And that's it. From sensor to action, all happening in just a few seconds. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so we've covered the how. Now let's talk about the where. Because to really get a feel for the impact of IoT, we're going to start small, like right inside your own home. And then we're going to zoom out to your city and then even bigger to the farms that grow our food.
And odds are you're already using IoT and might not even think about it. You know those smart plugs you can get for around 500 rupees, and suddenly your old geyser or AC is smart, controllable right from your phone. That Mi Band on your wrist tracking your heart rate? Yep, that's IoT. Those smart bulbs you can command with your voice? Also IoT. Even some new fridges will send an alert to your phone if you accidentally leave the door open. It's all about making life just a little bit easier.
All right, now let's zoom out from the home to the city. Across India, IoT is being used to tackle some really big problems. I mean, in Pune, they're using sensors to adjust traffic lights in real time to ease congestion. In Surat, they have sensors in the river that give early flood warnings. We're talking about something that literally saves lives. And then there's the simple stuff, right? Smart streetlights that dim down to save power when no one's around, or trash bins that send a signal when they're full so trucks don't waste fuel. It's all about making our cities smarter and way more efficient. Okay, let's talk about one of India's most critical challenges, water. You know, agriculture uses a huge amount of it, and frankly, a lot gets wasted. Well, IoT is tackling this problem head on, and the result, well, it's a truly incredible number. 40%. Just let that sink in. That is how much water farmers can save just by using simple IoT sensors placed in the soil. See, instead of just watering on a fixed schedule, they get real-time data. They give the crops a drink only when they're actually thirsty. This is the whole idea behind what's called precision farming. You're replacing guesswork with hard data, and for our food supply, that is a total game changer. Okay, time for our final zoom out, and we're going to the biggest scale of all, industry. Because this is where IoT is sparking what many are calling the next industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. So what does that actually look like on the ground? Well, think about the old way, right? A factory machine just runs and runs until, bam, it breaks. Everything grinds to a halt, people are scrambling to fix it. That's being reactive. Now picture it with what's called industrial IoT. You've got sensors on that very same machine. They can feel a tiny vibration that's just a little bit off, and they send an alert that basically says, hey, my bearing is going to fail in about 3 days. Might want to check on me. That's being proactive. It's the difference between a total crisis and a simple, scheduled tune-up. And the results? They're absolutely massive. Just imagine getting a 10-day warning before a critical machine fails, or cutting your factory's electricity bill by 20% just because sensors can pinpoint exactly where energy is being wasted. At major companies like Tata Motors, it means it can track every single part in real time, which leads to basically zero-error assembly. We're not talking about small tweaks here. This is efficiency on a whole new level. All right, so we've seen how IoT is changing our homes, our cities, and our factories, but now let's bring it all the way back home, back to you. Because with all this amazing connectivity, you get huge rewards, but you also get some new risks and honestly, some pretty incredible opportunities. Now, here's what's both scary and kind of fascinating. The biggest security risks with IoT are often the simplest to avoid. This quote is about a massive cyber attack called the Mirai botnet. And what happened was hackers took control of millions of devices, like cameras and routers. Not by using some super complex genius-level hack. No, they got in because people simply never bothered to change the default factory password. You know, things like admin and 1234. An unsecured camera isn't just a risk, it's basically an open door. But the good news is, you absolutely do not need to be a cybersecurity expert to stay safe. Here are 3 super simple things anyone can do. Number 1, the very moment you take a new smart device out of the box, change the password. Just do it. Number 2, and this one is a brilliant tip, set up a separate guest Wi-Fi network just for your IoT gadgets. That way, if your smart bulb ever gets compromised, the hackers can't get to your laptop or your phone, which are safely on your main network. And third, just like your phone, keep your devices updated. It's honestly the easiest way to stay protected. Okay, so beyond just using these devices, IoT gives you the chance to become a creator yourself. And you might be thinking, oh, that sounds expensive and complicated. But check this out. You can build your own working smart thermostat for under 400 rupees. Seriously, all you need are parts you can easily get online in India. You grab an ESP32 board that's kind of like the brains, a cheap temperature sensor, and a few wires. And that's literally all you need to get started. And this is the key right here. This accessibility is opening up incredible new doors. For students, for makers, for hobbyists all across India, learning IoT skills, it's not just a fun little project anymore. It is a golden ticket into one of the fastest growing industries on the planet. I'm not kidding. The demand for people with these skills is huge. We're talking about giants like Tata and Reliance Jio actively hunting for talent. And it's this really cool mix of skills, right? It blends electrical engineering with coding and languages like Python and C++, and even cloud computing. But I think the most exciting part is how it empowers entrepreneurs to solve real, local problems with affordable tech. You could build a smart water controller for your apartment building, or an energy monitor for a local shop. The possibilities are endless. So let's wrap this all up. Think about the journey we just took. We went from a simple smart plug in your living room to a smart traffic grid managing a whole city, all the way to a completely automated smart factory. And the one thing that connects them all is that IoT gives a voice to the physical world. It takes all this silent data and turns it into smart, real-time action. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. We've talked about what IoT is, and we've seen how it works. So the question isn't if our world is going to be more connected. That's a given. The real question is, what are we going to do with that connection? So now that you know how the tools work, what problem are you going to solve first?